As the release date gets closer and closer, it seems like fans are eager to get any crumb of information about Deadpool 2 that they possibly can. There's a lot going on, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes regarding this much-anticipated sequel. Don't head to the theater without learning some of these details. But first, make sure that you're subscribed for more videos from CBR. Now let's get started.
Hit it!
The final film. Deadpool was a huge deal because it was a popular superhero movie with an R rating.
Jimmy Chonga.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey.
However, it ended up being the most successful R-rated movie, taking in $746 million at the box office. Given its success and the much-anticipated sequel, many people assumed that we wouldn't be seeing an end to the Deadpool franchise anytime soon. But that may be just wistful thinking. Many assumed that at some point the Deadpool movies would transition from a love story with lots of shooting and foul language to a more family-friendly franchise. However, when questioned about this, actor Ryan Reynolds claims that he believes Deadpool 2 will be the final Deadpool movie. Fans know that Ryan Reynolds is probably the only person on Earth who loves Deadpool more than we do, so his views hold serious weight here. He believes that we may see the character Deadpool in an X-Force movie, but we shouldn't expect to see Deadpool 3 hitting theaters in the future.
What do you think? Well, what do you know?
Stiff competition. In addition to being excited for Deadpool 2, superhero fans were once looking forward to some other big-name movies in 2018. These include the X-Men movies, Dark Phoenix, and the New Mutants. However, these movies have now been pushed away back until summer 2019. The studio blames reshoots and scheduling issues, but many fans believe that it's actually to give Disney time to finish acquiring 21st Century Fox. Deadpool 2 was supposed to be enmeshed with these movies, but now they're coming out quite far apart. We can expect the Deadpool sequel to be pretty heavy on mutants, in order to hype up audiences for the new upcoming X-Men movies. Deadpool 2 will also have a major contender at the box office. Solo, a Star Wars story, will be dropping just a week later, and we're guessing that the fan bases are going to overlap quite a bit. Making room for X-Men and going up against Han Solo is a huge challenge.
Yes, it is.
Let's meet in the middle and say no, it isn't.
But if anyone can overcome it, it's the merc with the mouth.
I just saw the ad.
You're in.
Director. When most of us think of one man we associate with Deadpool, it's definitely none other but actor Ryan Reynolds. Not only is he infatuated with Deadpool, but his portrayal of him is absolutely flawless. But there is one man in Hollywood who isn't the biggest fan of Reynolds, and that's director Tim Miller. When Deadpool 2 was announced, many were shocked that Miller immediately dropped the project like a hot chimichanga. Fox claimed that Miller was just too busy with another project, Influx, but there could be another reason. Reportedly, Miller and Reynolds frequently butted heads over creative differences during the first Deadpool movie, and realized that they just couldn't work together. During an interview, Miller spoke poorly about the upcoming sequel, and implied that he thinks the film will be dull. He claims to be glad not to be involved with Deadpool 2, and that he would be just retelling the same story he already told in the first movie. This seems like a classic case of sour grapes to us, but it also means that Deadpool 2 had to get an entirely new director, and ended up with David Leitch. We'll see how he handles the movie and how well he gets along with Ryan Reynolds.
So dark. You sure you're not from the DC universe?
Cable. If you're hungry for details about the latest superhero movie, then we assume that you stayed for the closing credits after the first Deadpool. The teaser seems to hint that he'll be making an appearance in Deadpool 2.
We're gonna have Cable.
Many actors were considered for this role, including Kyle Chandler and Liam Neeson. However, they ended up going with Josh Brolin, who is kind of an amazing choice. Even if you don't recognize his face, you might find his voice familiar, since he voices Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers movies. So don't worry that you won't have to sit in the theater wondering where you know that voice came from. When we finally see Cable on the big screen, it's expected that we might get a watered-down version compared to the one many of us know from the comic books. That's because Cable has a pretty crazy backstory involving telekinetic powers, viruses, and clones. Many fans think he'll probably just be some guy with a bionic arm and some run-of-the-mill superpowers in the movie.
God, I wish I finished college.
Zazie Beetz. You might recognize actress Zazie Beetz from her role as Van on FX's Atlanta, or as Noelle on Netflix's Easy, but fans can look forward to seeing her portray the mercenary Domino in Deadpool 2. Until now, she's been a pretty small-time actor, and this could be her breakout moment. She'll be playing a strong character in a major superhero movie opposite Ryan Reynolds, which is a pretty huge deal. Domino has the power of luck, which leads many people to wonder if that's a real superpower or merely a coincidence. It seems like Zazie Beetz has been lucky as well, since she landed this role. She got cast in Deadpool 2 without even having seen the first movie. However, it seems that she's now fully on board and passionate about the film. She's also probably excited that people might finally stop asking her when she's going to make music, since her last name is Beetz. When she appeared on Jimmy Kimmel, she revealed that she's not particularly musically inclined. But as Kimmel pointed out, that hasn't stopped many other musical performers.
Oh, you're living the dreams, DP.
Yeah.
Familiar face. While we can expect a lot of new faces and talent in the upcoming Deadpool 2, there will be lots of familiar ones as well. It's been confirmed that Brianna Hildebrand will be returning to the big screen by reprising her role as Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And of course, that means that she'll be accompanied by Colossus, played by Stefan Kapisik. We've seen this dynamic duo in the trailers, and there is also plenty of behind-the-scenes talent returning to the set as well. The Deadpool sequel may have a new director, but screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick are returning. They wrote the script for the first Deadpool movie that we all know and love so very much. These guys are also responsible for the brilliant movie Zombieland. When they first heard that writing auditions were open for Deadpool, neither had even heard of the character, but spent a week straight preparing. They had to impress Ryan Reynolds himself in order to get the job, which is quite the accomplishment. It took a long time for their previous script to get the green light, but they obviously didn't have to wait quite so long for Deadpool 2.
That's just lazy writing.
Expanding universe. After hearing about all the other characters confirmed and speculated about, you might be worrying that screenwriters are trying to pack too much into this one movie. Many fans have expressed concern that Deadpool 2 simply won't have enough Deadpool in it. But rest assured, the film still heavily features Deadpool, and isn't just another iteration of an X-Men movie. Writer Rhett Reese has adamantly stated that he and his co-writer Paul Wernick are dedicated to making sure that this is definitely a Deadpool film. So you can relax and get excited about seeing Deadpool interacting with a whole new cast of characters without worrying about them overshadowing our favorite anti-hero. As if that would even be possible. In fact, many of the ideas that the writers had for the first movie are finally going to be used in the second film. There was just too much action-packed excitement in the first Deadpool, so you can look forward to some of it spilling over into the sequel. And to show that it will still involve the same sense of humor, the working title used during production among the cast and crew has been Love Machine.
Isn't that a little derivative?
You're absolutely right.
R rating. Now that Disney and 20th Century Fox are joining their heroes together for the greater good, many wonder about the fate of Deadpool. He's an R-rated superhero to say the least, and many worry that the second movie will be a watered-down version of the first. However, the original Deadpool was such a success that the franchise seems to be quite safe, at least for now. It seems like with many movies, once they start being successful, the studio will then make a bigger, more action-packed sequel, hoping that translates to bigger profits. While it's nice to have more money and spend on special effects and action scenes, that's not a concern for Deadpool 2, according to producer Simon Kinberg. He explained that the biggest goal of the second movie is to capture the magic of the first one in terms of its unique tone and sense of humor. When given an established audience and a bigger budget, it's easy to see why some teams go mad with power and lose sight of what made the first movie so spectacular. But luckily, it seems like we don't have to worry about that happening to Deadpool 2.
Dopinder.
Pool. Dead.
The non-supers. Some of your favorite minor characters are going to be returning in Deadpool 2, so get ready to see some beloved faces once again. Deadpool's roommate, Blind Al, was one of the main characters in the comic series before gradually showing up less and less. But you don't have to worry about the same thing happening in the movie version, because she's coming back. Leslie Uggams will be reprising her role as Blind Al, and we look forward to seeing more of her hilarious interactions with Wade. One mortal character that was surprisingly popular was the taxi driver Dopinder, played by Karan Soni. He ends up becoming Wade's chauffeur by the end of the movie, and fans loved the interactions between the two characters. However, Dopinder's story ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, with him getting into a car accident with his cousin Bondu tied up in his trunk. We can't wait to see Dopinder again, and learned how he managed to get himself out of that particular pickle.
Don't make me ask twice.
The Zipper. One of the prevailing fan theories about Deadpool 2 is that our hero will be getting an upgraded costume. Many believe that it will be getting a makeover to some darker colors, but we are going to go by what Ryan Reynolds has confirmed on the subject. We know that actors have to follow strict diets and workout regimens in order to properly fit into their superhero suits. But did you ever stop to wonder how they actually go to the bathroom in those things? Of course you don't, because you only think about yourself. But we'll tell you anyways. During an interview, Ryan Reynolds was asked about a new Deadpool costume, and he seemed to hint that there would be some minor changes. But he added that the only change he cares about would be getting a zipper, or some way to make it easier for him to relieve himself. Sadly, the costume designers have chosen to not yet give Deadpool that particular zipper.
No biting. They're done already?
Which of these details are you most interested in seeing on the big screen? Tell us what you're excited about seeing in Deadpool 2, and don't forget to click subscribe for more videos from CBR. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.